Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the RREC Podcast. This is episode 2. I'm one of your hosts. I'm Dynis. I'm here with my co-host, Matt Wallace, and our second guest, Mr. Taylor Siemer. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
It's good to have you here. All right, quick PSA before we really jump into our topics. I have found a way to add the timestamps into the description, which I did in the last one as well, but I didn't know I was doing it when we were recording. So if you guys, for example, if we talk about a topic today that you guys aren't necessarily interested in, you can just jump to the next one. It's super easy. Also, you can put us on 1.25 playback speed.
Shout out to math class.
That helps out with a lot of notes, videos, and whatnot. So, just, you guys can watch the whole podcast if you want. You can make it quicker. You can watch what you want. It's up to you, but we love having you here, and let's get straight into it. So, Matt, what are we talking about today?
First topic today. So, last night, big deal, blockbuster trade for the St. Louis Cardinals.
Yep.
We absolutely went to Colorado and robbed them.
Highway
Did not give up a top 50
robbery.
prospect. They paid us to take their all-star.
I mean, it was a class. I mean, it was a heist, like you're stealing from a bank.
It was. It was surgical.
$50 million and an all-star for some real schmucks.
We still don't know who we're giving up, but it doesn't look like it's going to be anyone important. And in case you guys don't know, it's Nolan Arenado. I think everyone here is going to know, but
yeah. I mean, him and Goldschmidt are friends anyways, so the chemistry has already gone through.
NL West buddies. Super exciting time to be a Cardinals fan now. It looked like for about the entirety of the winter that the Cardinals were going to cheap out and they weren't going to do anything, and now they've re-signed Wainwright, re-signed Yachty.
No, they haven't re-signed Yachty.
Yachty's committed verbally.
They're
though.
planning to re-sign
He's
Yachty.
playing in the Caribbean.
And we trade for the best third baseman in the league. What a week.
The infield defense on this team is going to be the best in the league.
That's
I
true.
mean, you have Goldschmidt and Arenado coming in at the corners.
Arenado's the best.
With Yachty behind the
best
plate.
defenseman
They
in
need
the
to
league.
And
give Wong
DeYoung-
back. They need to
If
take
DeYoung at
the
short,
50 mil, give it to Colton Wong.
even if you don't get Wong back, I mean, if you had Edmund in there,
Edmund's good.
he's not as. I mean, he's
not a Gold Glover, but he's good.
He's good. I mean, it'll be a good infield. I have a feeling.
Plus, I mean, in the 3-4 spots in that order, you have consistent production all year long, which is something the Cardinals really haven't had
Since the great year of 11.
No, probably since about 15.
Yeah,
I'd say.
They were good.
They were good after they won, but I would say they definitely need to get back
It's
to
been
how
a
they
while
won.
since the Cardinals have had two hitters that they can rely on every day in, day out.
I mean, he's not going to hit as well as he did in Colorado because he's playing in thicker air, but I think
not
he'll still hit
double.
pretty well.
I think that's a myth too. Like the numbers, he plays 81 games on the road every year anyway. The numbers won't go down a whole lot, hopefully. But yeah, what an exciting time to be a Cardinals fan. Go ahead.
I would say that Mozeliak in the last 24 hours with Yachty news, Waino signing, and the Arenado trade going through, he gets a pass for all the slander he's received in the past 5 years.
He has caught a lot of crap from all the Cardinals fans. Yesterday he was probably one of the most hated guys
Front office
in the
guys,
MLB.
yeah. And now he's back on everyone's good side. That's
He
a
was
good
just
thing.
waiting to pull one whole offseason in 24-hour period instead of trying to break it up through December and January.
Maybe the only reason they did it is to lull the Cubs to sleep.
I guess because the Cubs traded their whole
the
team
Cubs got rid of
away.
everyone.
Although they did sign Peterson now.
Yeah, that's the only.
But they got rid of their
reasonable
pitchers, so I
observation,
mean,
yeah. Lester's gone, Darvish is gone.
I think they got rid of a bullpen guy too. So I mean, they're not going to have
Yeah.
anybody to be ready
The
to go.
NL
The NL
Central.
Central was just going to go to whatever team was not cheap enough.
Yeah,
I
it
mean,
looks like
the Pirates were already terrible.
Pirates
Yeah.
are, yeah.
The Brewers sold.
It all depends on if Yelich is an MVP, they'll be good.
The Brewers sold. The Cubs really sold, and the Reds were they're still rebuilding. So
if they would have had their team 2 years ago now, they would have.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, it looks like the Cardinals are going to be the clear favorites now, so that's a good thing. I don't think that they're going to be World Series favorites by any stretch of the imagination, but
I think they can beat the Dodgers now, though.
They can
if they
can
make
play
it
deep
in there.
into October now, and
I
that's
think the Padres are going to be nasty.
Oh, they're going to
Yeah.
be so good.
this is something that as a Cardinals fan we really haven't had for 5 years now.
Yeah.
Is actually thinking that we have a chance to do something, and it all depends also on the young guys stepping up, Bader, O'Neill, Carlson. hitting the ball well. We really didn't plan to talk about this at all on the podcast. This just popped up last night, and we had to talk about it as a group of Cardinals fans here. But yeah, it's exciting. So let's move on to the next topic, which was supposed to be the big topic of the day, but it's moved to number 2 now. So let's get to it.
All right. So last week, many of you know, all the guys have been getting into the stock market, and they've been saying GameStop and AMC to the moon.
To the moon.
And Taylor, talk about it.
All right, so I mean, I'm all in on this now. I put in $90 or so.
You put in 9. Wait, so okay, do we all have 5?
I have 5 shares, but I got in after you. I got to 19 or so. You guys both got in at 16 or 17 there. So, I mean, you guys about $80 and I got about 90 in. So I mean,
explain what's happened.
Okay, so basically, there's this thing called a short squeeze. Basically, where you have to borrow to short something. You borrow from somebody, hoping to sell it back for later at a lower price and then keep the profit. And basically what we're doing is shooting the price up so that way they have to buy it at a higher price, lose all the money, and then they want to keep shorting again, which basically means it's just going to snowball down. So, I mean, I bought 5 at 19, which actually was about the high. I got up to 20-something, I think.
You picked the wrong time to buy.
And what day was that? Wednesday, Thursday?
Wednesday. Thursday's the day that they...
Thursday was the day
they shut everything down.
Yep. Thursday was the day criminal activity happened, and you'll never change my mind on that one.
Someone's getting busted.
I mean, the owner of the Mets had to delete his Twitter because he was in on it, and people were slandering him in the comments. So, yeah. I mean, something shady was definitely going down.
The SEC is going to have a very fun weekend.
Not the football conference.
No, the Security and Exchange Commission is not... in the public's best interest right now.
For about 2 days, and we'll see how this picks up next week, but the CHS was turned into Stonk University.
Oh, I mean, everybody and their brother was talking stonks in the hallway, class. I mean, we never got anything done in class for all of Thursday. I mean, it was
a wild day, but super fun. We're all in.
I'm holding.
Hold,
stand your ground. Do not sell. I don't care if it dips, jumps, goes to 0. We're holding it until it hits 1,000. I don't care. Holding it.
You got to love our generation, though.
I know. I mean, this is totally.
They pulled something off like this.
Who would have ever thought that a meme page like Reddit on the internet could make $1 million hedge fund guys go bankrupt?
It's wild.
In a week.
It's up to like $3 billion that those guys have pulled.
I know, and it's just insane. I mean, I don't know how. I would have never thought that the internet could do something like this.
It's unfortunate for them because now they're gonna have to make more payments on their yachts, and they may have to hire someone to clean their pool that's maybe not at the highest level. So that's unfortunate for those guys. It really is. I mean, they're losing a lot of money, but
yeah, but I mean,
everyone else is making money.
This is what they do to us on a daily basis. So I mean,
they will.
Yeah, when all this cools off, they'll make their money back. But I mean, I think it was a good push for now. Something for fun to do for the next 2-3 weeks.
Yeah, I mean,
what else are you gonna do?
I mean, sports are back up now, but
yeah,
for a while, there wasn't anything to talk about. So,
and nothing has quite brought the country together except for making $1 million hedge fund Wall Street suits
we have a lot
go bankrupt.
On the same side. It was Donald Trump Jr. and who was the other lady?
And AOC and Ted Cruz were all. If all of them come together, I mean. You're on the wrong side.
Wrong.
I mean, those people never get along.
There's not a whole lot of agreements there.
So, I mean, if that happens...
Right. Oh, man. Another big thing that happened this week.
We're going off. There's
IHSA
so much to talk about.
Announced the starting schedules for all the rest of the sports that are going to happen through the rest of the winter and start of the spring. And the first one's basketball. And Taylor's on the basketball team. I think they had to have 7 days of practice before they open, and they played Tuesday.
We play on Tuesday, yes, Trico. I'm going to pull the schedule here for you guys now, and we can go over it. But I mean, yeah, we had to have 7 practices in, but the ones that we were doing before count. So, we're playing on Tuesday at Trico, and we're all pretty excited about it.
What are the rules? Like, do you have to
you guys masking up during games?
Well, as of now, we do have to wear masks while we play, and if you bring it down. We don't know exactly what's going to happen, but I mean, they're talking about maybe a technical or maybe just a straight ejection. We don't know.
If you don't
eject someone,
if it comes down and you don't put it back up right away, you know what I'm saying?
So it's a pretty big
They're taking
It's a pretty fun game we play in the stands called How Long Will It Take Coach Hawk to Take His Jacket Off?
Yeah. Now it's going to be how long will it be for Hawk to pull down the mask and yell something.
Yeah, maybe it'll be how long does the mask stay on.
One thing I'll say, we recorded our first podcast on January 3rd, but it was uploaded a few weeks after that. At that point, there was a 0% chance that basketball was being played. We talked to Jake about it, and he's like, yeah, it doesn't look good. Boy, has that changed.
Yeah.
I don't know what changed necessarily.
Props to the IHSA people.
Yeah, they did it.
Well, I mean, they either had to go yes or no. I mean, at that point, we were running out of time. So it was either we're going to play or we're not going to not. We're just going to move on. So I'm glad they finally made a decision.
They extended the season, too.
Yeah, until just after spring break.
Yeah, originally, so just about when it would normally end.
Well, it's over at the end of the week of spring break.
Okay. So we were originally supposed to start football right at the beginning of March.
It's March 5th was the starting day, and then we played like a week and a half later.
So it got moved back a few days. Baseball, as of now, was supposed to be played in the summer. It's the same exact time period. So football is getting shortchanged a week. I guess basketball is getting shorted a week as well. Although they kind of extended it. I don't know. It's weird.
I mean, we're only getting 15 games in, so.
I mean, but that's a lot because normally
there's no regionals for basketball or baseball. I mean, or football, and baseball is to be determined. So we'll see.
I bet they figure something out with baseball.
They will. I'm amazed that you guys are getting 15 games in.
How
long is the season? 6 weeks or so?
It's about 5.5, 6 weeks. Yeah, I mean it's three to 4 games a week is what I was told.
We normally play 30 games a year, and you're shortening the year by about 2/3 of the season.
And you're playing half the game. Yeah, that's what I was just thinking about today.
That's gonna be crazy.
Yeah, and an interesting dynamic that I've heard is that some places that are typically hard to play in are not going to be as hard to play in because they won't be allowed to have fans.
That's true.
There's a 30-foot rule, which means you have to be 30 feet off the court before you can have the first fan in the stands.
Okay.
And places like Pinckneyville are only 26 feet
tall
for the whole, like the very top last row is only 26 feet away from the stands.
Yeah.
So, or from the court, I mean. So places like that are going to struggle. I think Sparta may be in the same way unless they get those ones that are up there.
Well, Sparta and Nashville haven't. They're in the different zone.
That's true. That's true.
Play yet.
And also, I think places like DuQuoin will have that problem. Trico won't be able to have any fans there. Massac may even have that problem. I don't know if... I mean, they might have some people up in the very top.
They'll have more than the other ones. But yeah, their bleachers are right there on the floor.
Our gym should be fine.
Yeah, we can have people...
can stand up top in the...
Yeah, we're going to have people in the last... I think he said about 3 or 4 rows, and people can stand in the top.
I'm assuming it's capacity limited.
I mean...
I've heard 50 people.
50 people is what I've heard on Twitter, too, but I haven't had anything official. I heard it's going to be 2 parents per player.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter, the number, but, I mean, 2 parents per player is probably going to be about 50, because, I mean, you have the freshman, JV, and varsity now all play on one night.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And, you can have 15 on a varsity team. Some of those overlap with the JV team, so, I mean,
that's about 30 guys.
That's probably 30, 40 parents there, plus, a couple for the freshmen. It'll probably be about, I don't know, maybe 60, but, I mean, it'll be pretty close. You can space everybody out.
One thing I'm concerned about is media. Like, is Dave going to be able to come in?
We were just discussing that today, actually, at practice, is Dave might have a live stream, or, they put in that brand new camera.
Which is...
It's high tech.
Yeah.
I mean, but it's going to be, through the National Federation of High Schools, is what Shane said.
Okay.
And...
So are they going to be, streaming on, a third-party website?
Yeah. Okay. And, I mean, you're going to have to pay a subscription, but the school is actually working to see if they can buy one for everybody. Okay. Yeah.
Tell us. So, we'll do it free.
Yeah, well, if we can get a camera in there, Matt and I will announce the games, at least the home games. That's what I wanted. I really want to do it.
Yeah, that would be fun. And it would be, more catered towards the students.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how many kids that aren't super invested are tuning in to watch Dave during the...
Yeah, that's true. The people that turn into Dave are guys who...
But there will be people that will listen to Matt and I talk about it, I think. At least more. So, yeah.
You wanna give a rundown of the schedule here, or see what you guys think?
Yeah. You can go through, the next week or two.
All right, well, maybe we start this week at Trico and at Heron.
At Trico is going to be a nightmare. We got ambushed at Trico, too.
Yeah, but, I mean, no fans, and, I mean, it's first game, you never know how anything's going to happen.
Hawk wants revenge.
And do they have anyone there? I could not...
Guys? They have Wilson Lodge. He's all right.
I mean, we beat him last year, but it took overtime, but, I mean...
That's right.
I think we could do it.
But I think we'll be good this year in basketball.
a notable stretch here is about a week's worth of time from Saturday to a Saturday of 4 away games, and they're all at least an hour away. Nashville, Sparta, Centralia, Pinckneyville, 4 in a row there. Although Nashville and Sparta are still questionable to play. So that Nashville game, if they can't play, we're going to play Carbondale, but there's no backup for the Sparta game yet, is what we were told.
Okay. I'm excited. I am. I really was excited to watch you guys play. I'm not playing this year, but I was really excited to watch. And
sad that we won't be able to.
Now we won't be able to be there. The student section would have been crazy.
Yelling and screaming and Chino belly flopping on the field.
The curtain of distraction would have made a few appearances. Maybe we can get a virtual curtain of distraction, but I really don't know how that would work.
Anyone on the court. All right.
Well, all right. On to the last topic here. We have, as a group, we're at least Taylor and I are huge college basketball guys. Matt follows pretty casually.
I start watching college basketball about a week
March
before
1st.
the selection
March 1st.
Sunday.
So I spend a lot of my time, making a bracket. And then we've decided that we're going to take my most recent bracket that I just did this morning, and we're going to fill it out as a community style bracket, and we're going to break down a few of the games. We'll go like maybe 4 in the first round, 4 in the second round, and we'll work our way through. Just give a little college basketball discussion for those of you that want to tune into that. So we'll start out here in the top left region here, which all the games are in Indianapolis this year, which is awesome.
Yeah, so the regions don't really matter
but
now.
This would be the West region. And so the game that I want to highlight there is the Purdue-Drake 8-9 game. Matt and I believe, picked Drake.
Yep,
we picked Drake to win it,
this year.
So Drake is going to get the advantage. Taylor picked Purdue, though.
I did pick Purdue, but I think it'll be a close game. I mean, Drake's playing really good.
Drake is good.
Purdue is good.
Valley teams always play
Missouri Valley teams play well in the tournament every year.
Unless it's SIU.
I think
went to the Sweet 16 last time they were there.
I know, but
I think Purdue plays good if they can play at home. I mean, they're basically playing at home. They're only like an hour away from Indianapolis, so I think it's going to be.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's going to be close. I don't know if they're going to have fans. That'll make a difference because I think more Purdue fans will travel, but.
Well, the Drake guys go crazy too.
It'll be close. I think it'll be a really close game.
All I'll say is
it's a
that
hard pick.
Drake's undefeated. If they continue to play better than what they have so far, they're going to be better than a 9 seed.
This matchup, I don't know.
An undefeated Valley team is at least a 2 seed at the worst. So I think they'll lose.
You think? I don't know. I mean, the Valley isn't like it used to be in 2000.
Well, no, but
I think it'll probably be like a 4 seed.
Still one of the best.
I think they'll be a 4 if they could finish undefeated. Maybe a 3. 3, I'll give them.
That'd be a good one. All right, moving on here to the bottom left quadrant here. I believe this would be the East, where Michigan is the 1 seed up there, and we have an upset pick. We picked Colgate to beat West Virginia. Press Virginia, they've looked pretty good lately, but we like the toothpaste brand.
Yeah, there was no real logic behind this pick. I
kind of had a slight logic.
And I like the name.
I kind of had some slight logic. I mean, West Virginia. I mean, they're playing close games to other good teams, but they're losing them. So it's kind of if you catch them on a bad night, I think Bob Huggins can take a loss to Colgate.
I think they're a good, not great 4 seed.
Yeah,
and I think Colgate's a good 13.
Yeah.
A lot of the conference champions this year, the 12s, 13s, and 14s, even the 15s, I think they're all really good. I think this is an upset that could totally happen if they were to play in March. But that being said, I still haven't watched Colgate play or anything. But still. All right, moving on to the top right region, the South. 6-11 matchup between North Carolina and St. Bonaventure is the one that we've highlighted here. I went with the Bonnies. These two went with Carolina. I'm assuming probably just off name value.
I mean, North Carolina is definitely on a down year. Again, like they were last year. It's not as bad as last year, but
last year they were horrible.
I don't know. I mean, Roy Williams, I think, can show up in a tournament type setting. So I mean, St. Bonaventure just doesn't have the athletes that the Tar Heels have.
I think the Bonnies are the best team in the A10. It's a tough conference. You got SLU, you got Richmond. Davidson's on the bubble. I think VCU's pretty good. It's a really good conference, and I think they're the best out there. They went on like a 20-0 run against VCU about a week ago, and they looked really, really good in that game. So I picked them, but as a group, I was outruled. All right, and in the final region here in the bottom right, the Midwest region where Houston's the 1 seed. The game we're highlighting here is another 4-13 matchup between Florida State and UC Santa Barbara. I think UCSB is really good. The Big West is given us some good teams in the past. UC Irvine has made a couple runs.
Mm-hmm.
But Florida State, Leonard Hamilton, they're always competitive.
Yeah, I think if this matchup happens, I mean, I think it'll be a close game. But, I mean, coming down to the last 2-3 minutes, your athletes are going to push you over the top. And Florida State just gets a lot better recruits, I think, to come in, better athletes. So
and he gets the most out of those guys, Leonard does.
And, UC Santa Barbara just doesn't have that it factor to me. Just feel like it's just not
They've looked really good lately, but, I mean, it's in Big West play, but the Big West is good. All right, moving on to the second round. Back up to the West region, a 2-10 matchup. Iowa and Loyola. Loyola, another Valley team up there in that region. And we shocked the nation here with Loyola winning.
I
like the pick.
I like their run then. I mean, Sister Jean, she's got the power of prayer on her side.
She sure does.
And, Krotwig is I'll just say he is a large dude,
he can match with Garza.
If he can just slow down, I mean, Garza's slow too, so two big slow guys just banging in the bottom and down low.
Down there if that happens.
And you know what? Just for like old time's sake, I went with the Ramblers.
Yeah. You got anything
No.
to say? No. Okay. All right, moving down here. Back to the East region, another 10-2. We got a lot of 10-2 matchups in this one. We picked all 10 seeds.
Oh, we
I don't know
did.
if you noticed that. But San Diego State upsets Villanova in a 10-2 upset. I was not on board with this pick. I think the Aztecs are good, but not great.
Villanova put some salt into my wounds. This year. After taking a 3-week break, they were still ranked number 4 in the country or so, maybe number 3.
Which, I mean, I think
after not playing while other teams were proving themselves. I mean, we can have this debate, but I mean,
Michigan's doing
by
that
other
now.
teams, he means Michigan.
Michigan's taking a hiatus now, and I still think that they're going to keep theirs.
So, and their first game back, they had to squeak one out. I mean, the refs had to hand them the win personally on a silver platter to beat Seton Hall. Okay, so that is why I have picked the Aztecs to beat Villanova.
SDSU is a good mid-major team. Villanova is the type of team that they always either make a run or they're out by the first weekend. And I think that kind of played into my decision here to go with SDSU and stick with that. All right, moving on to the South region in the top right. Indiana and Alabama, another 10-2. Matt's a big Alabama fan.
I got overruled on this one, I think, if I remember correctly. I like the Hoosiers in this one.
I can agree. I see it, and in a way I don't.
I mean, the Hoosiers aren't the best team in the Big Ten, but I mean, Alabama's only hyped up because they're playing in a terrible SEC conference.
Alabama's looked really good.
I mean, they've played well, but they just lost to Auburn.
Auburn looks good too, though. They didn't lose to Auburn, did they?
I think they did. Sharif Cooper, I'm pretty sure beat them.
Auburn beat someone else. I don't think they beat them.
I'm pretty sure it was Alabama.
They beat Missouri, I think.
Oh, I think it was Missouri?
I think it was Missouri.
I think they beat them both, but
anyway,
at least they played them in a close game.
Indiana has Trace Jackson Davis, and he's a big guy. He's good, and I don't know who Alabama has that can guard him. But in March, it tends to be the team with the best player and a not as good supporting cast. That team tends to get beat more often than not. It's all about having a solid unit when it comes to March. So that's why I went with Bama. And then the final second round matchup we're going to talk about here. 1 seed Houston, 8 seed Florida. We picked an upset here. We picked the Gators to beat Houston. Houston's a really good mid-major. I don't know if they're worthy of a 1 seed, but my metric says that they are. So I went Florida.
They're good against people that they're playing. I just don't know, like, if they start playing, power, well, in basketball, it could be like power 7, you could argue, but
yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
I think
they're good. I mean, they've got a good.
The record obviously shows that they're good.
Yeah.
It's just they're playing.
Florida's also playing well, I think, except for that one Kentucky game. But I mean, other than that, I think they're playing pretty well. I think they just beat Tennessee, actually.
Yeah. It all depends on if they can get Keontae Johnson back.
Yeah.
Because he had his issue.
Yeah, that was scary.
If he's back though, that team's going to be really hard to beat. And if they end up getting an 8 seed, that's a team that could beat a 1 seed. Any day. All right, moving on to the Sweet 16. We're gonna keep going here. Oh, hi, man. We're gonna keep going. We're gonna pick one game from each region here, and then we'll go through all of them. Texas and Loyola, a 3-10 matchup. We decided to end the run here of Sister Jean. Texas makes their way to the Sweet 16 or to the Elite 8.
The only reason here is Shaka grew his hair out, and I'm a big believer. I mean, he's figured something out this year. I mean, he was kind of struggling last year and the year before.
Yeah.
Grew his hair out during quarantine instead of shaving it all off. And I think that's his X factor for this year. That's why I'm taking them right there.
If you remember, Shaka coached VCU whenever they made their super good run.
Uh-huh.
Now he's at Texas. He has a bunch of good guards. That backcourt's really good. He has some decent bigs. I think that Loyola can get by with Iowa because Iowa isn't a very athletic group. They play very fundamentally sound, but so does Loyola. Against Texas, that group has more athleticism, more shot-making ability, and that's kind of my
I would 100% agree there.
We had a bit of a run here. Our Cinderella story of the tournament belongs to Colgate. They made it to the second weekend. They get to the Sweet 16. But then they run to a buzzsaw in the form of the Michigan Wolverines, who Taylor would love to tell you about.
I am personally a Wolverine fan. And Juwan Howard has figured something out here. I mean, he has the best offensive efficiency in the country, you could argue. I mean, it is insane to watch these guys. If you give them like 2 extra minutes at the end of the game where they don't put the schmucks in and they keep the starters, because they're blowing people out by 40, so the schmucks are coming in with 5 minutes to go. If you let them in there, they would easily have put up 100 at least 5 times this year.
I think Michigan's good. I mean, they're going to beat Colgate any day of the week. But
Colgate is not ready for a Hunter Dickinson, Eli Brooks, and Franz Wagner rim attack. Okay?
And Livers. I mean, they're loaded. They have a lot of good guys. They're going to be a team to watch out for.
If Austin Davis is back too, I would put him in the championship game. If Austin Davis could stay healthy.
You would put him in the championship game anyway. All right, in the top right, back to the south, Baylor Creighton. I think Creighton's really good. I was close to picking Creighton. I just think Baylor's really, really good. I think Baylor's really good. Like Gonzaga and Baylor are 1A, 1B, and you can argue either which way, whichever one's 1A. But they've looked really good. They haven't lost.
I think if Baylor had been ranked 1 and then Gonzaga had been ranked 2, I think they still would have stayed the same there. Gonzaga got the 1
first. There's no
first.
reasoning for why you'd flip-flop either of them. I think Gonzaga played a super tough non-conference schedule. And so I think that their resume looks better, but just watching them play, Baylor looks like an inch better. It's a really good team. I think Creighton's really good too. Marcus Zagorowski's a beast, but they're not beating Baylor.
I think Creighton might have a chance at winning the conference tournament out there.
Oh yeah.
Because they're only gonna have to play either one of Villanova or Seton Hall theoretically.
Or and Xavier's fine.
So I mean,
who else am I forgetting?
You only have to play one of them. You can play good on one good game.
UConn's decent this year. And Providence is okay, but yeah, Creighton can make a run as well. And then the other one down here in the bottom right region, we had a 2-3 matchup between Virginia and Ohio State. And we ended up going to Ohio State solely because we don't think Virginia can put up enough points to fight their way through.
Virginia's problem, the same way they lost to UMBC, is they have really good defense. But, I mean, if you catch someone on a hot night, they just cannot score to keep up with you.
That's always going to be their issue. If they always play the pack line, they have great defensive guys, but they'll lose to an
If you catch somebody who can outshoot them, if you can outscore them, then you are.
And that's what's so much fun about March is that teams will match up against each other in different ways, different from how they do in professional or even in high school. College is like the perfect form to where on a good day anyone can beat anyone, and that's what makes March Madness so much fun. Probably not the best way to determine a champion, but it's fun. All right, moving on to the Elite Eight. We'll run through these really quick before we get to the Final Four. Gonzaga, Texas. Gonzaga is really, really good. Shaka's run-ins.
I disagreed with them on this one. I think Shaka can pull it out here. 1, because he's got hair, and 2, Gonzaga plays a cupcake schedule.
They don't. If you run through the non-conference,
the last 2 months of their schedule is
they're rolling everyone.
It's BYU twice,
St. Mary's twice.
Okay, St. Mary's, San Francisco, the Washington Sisters of the Poor. I mean, they're playing nobody out there for the last 2 months of their schedule. So I mean, having to play a Drake, Kansas, and Texas back to back to back. They're gonna be prepared for that because they haven't done that all season.
But yeah, they have done it. They did it at the first part of the season.
They did in the first part of the season.
They already beat Kansas. They beat Virginia. They beat Iowa. They beat everyone.
That's what we were just saying. Kansas, they got to play them again. Kansas is not that good. Virginia can't really score. See what I'm saying? I mean, if they play teams that can score, I think they're gonna have a problem game after game after game.
They've played the best schedule in the nation just because they scheduled non-conference so hard. That number's probably gonna go down a little bit, but as of now. I like
Texas on this game and mark it down
I can't bet against Gonzaga
for the history books.
At least into the Final Four. All right, Michigan and another Cinderella here. San Diego State has a 10 seed, upsets Illinois in the Sweet 16 and makes it here. That was a horrible pick by you guys.
No.
Illinois' one problem is they have nobody if Io cannot get started. They are so inconsistent.
SDSU doesn't have anyone that can guard them. I don't know. I think that was the wrong time to pick them. But we picked Michigan to beat SDSU because Michigan
just has too many weapons.
They're just better.
That's simple.
Simple as that. We're going to move on. Baylor, Alabama. I like Alabama. Baylor's just really good.
I think Alabama's still slightly overrated, like I talked about in the Indiana-Alabama matchup. But Baylor Bears, probably whoever they play down there, except for maybe Wisconsin if they get hot. I mean, Baylor's going to get to the Final Four in that bracket.
You would be hard-pressed to bet against either Gonzaga or Baylor at least until the Final Four.
Yeah.
I would never in any imagination take them to lose in their own region. I just don't see it. While they're wearing the white jerseys, they're unstoppable. And then we had another Cinderella story here. Florida, as an 8 seed, made all the way to the Elite Eight. I think that all depends on Keontae Johnson. But they play Ohio State, and they kind of just, they're just not as good. Ohio State has
had a slump there for a week or two, and they picked it back up.
They're a little more consistent.
If they can just stay consistent throughout this bracket, I think they can make the Final Four too, especially if they don't have to play Houston. If Houston loses, I think, even if they, I don't know. If Richmond upsets Texas Tech, I think they have an easier schedule.
That's true. Texas Tech's going to be really good, too, as a 6 seed. So our Final Four, we had 3 1 seeds in Ohio State. So there was a chance that we could have a Michigan-Ohio State final, but we went with the total opposite. We picked Gonzaga to beat Michigan. That was kind of Matt and I's decision.
I got overruled on this one.
Taylor was heated.
I'm telling you, Gonzaga's first game against Alabama A&M, according to this bracket, cupcake just like they're playing in their season. But, Drake, really good. Kansas, slightly down this year, but still a good team. Going to play Shaka with hair. And then having to turn around and again play Michigan. That's 1, 2, 3, 4 tough games in a row.
It's a really tough schedule.
They haven't played 4 tough games in a row since Thanksgiving, okay? So, I don't know. I think Michigan can win that game, but I got overruled by those two. We went with Gonzaga.
I just think Gonzaga's really good. Yeah. It's really good. And then Baylor against Ohio State. Ohio State's good, but they're probably, if they didn't have quite the path they did, they probably aren't a Final Four team.
Yeah, I think they got lucky there, and Baylor's defense is just way too good.
Yeah, so championship game, Gonzaga and Baylor. I picked the Bears.
I finally got them to convince them that the Gonzaga cannot play that many good games in a row because they've been playing schmucks.
That's not even why I picked Gonzaga, though. I just think Baylor has so many guys that are perimeter lockdowns. Their post defense is good. Like, Gonzaga has Suggs. They have Timmy. They have Kispert. They have Aaron Cook. They have so many offensive weapons. But Baylor has just a match for each of them. And Baylor's good offensively where Gonzaga is average.
Isn't it Baylor that has Everyday John?
Baylor has John Chamwa Chachwa.
If you bet against a dude named Everyday John, come on.
And he's only named Everyday John because no one wants to be sitting here on a broadcast continuously saying Chamwa Chachwa.
Exactly. If your last name is Chamwa Chachwa,
it's hard to do.
How can you bet against a team with a guy named Chamwa Chachua?
So you heard it here first. January 30th, 2021, the three of us choose Baylor to win the national title. If that actually happens, pay us. I don't know what
Split us your sports betting money.
Yes.
That's all I ask.
If you pick Baylor and you win anything, and it's because of us, you're welcome.
Remember the little guys.
Yep. All right. So we're gonna move back here to our consistent segment of Minute Madness. We have.
Hopefully Taylor's a little bit better.
We have a lot of questions here on the board. We're gonna have a minute here for Taylor. You know how to play, all right? You watched it.
Basically, just answer the questions.
You
and
answer the question
1 minute
as fast as you can, preferably if you answer them correctly. Steve Harvey, Family Feud, Fast Money.
Give me a countdown.
You have 10 seconds before you reach 34 minutes on the recording. So we're running long on this one. You got 5, 4, 3, 2, go.
Chocolate or Fruity Pebbles?
Fruity.
Popcorn or candy at the movies?
Popcorn.
Tom Brady or Pat Mahomes this weekend?
Brady. Can't bet against him.
Favorite candy?
Snickers bar.
Greatest movie of all time?
Hoosiers.
Oh, I love it.
Best song ever?
I don't know. What was that LMFAO song a while back?
Party Rock.
Party Rock. There we go.
Oh my god. Okay, best TV show ever?
Cops. I don't know. I don't watch television shows really. I watch basketball.
Favorite fast food restaurant?
Chick-fil-A.
Beach or ski resort?
We're going to the beach.
Feet for hands or hands for feet?
Hands for feet.
Would you rather rule the world or live in a world with no problems?
No problems.
Run at 100 miles per hour or fly at 10 miles per hour?
Run.
Have nobody show up at your wedding or your funeral.
Wedding.
If you could have lunch
5
with any
seconds.
person in the past, who would it be?
Trump.
How you die or when you die?
3,
Which one?
When?
2,
23
1.
minus 7.
13.
Couldn't get it in time.
No,
I
I
think-
thought I had it.
I think that was 15.
Yes.
Check your number. 15.
So he got through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and he did not get the bonus.
Okay.
I think I got number 3. I think I got to 13. I mean, that was... review the footage.
No,
We'll have a counter
there's
running.
no way.
Review the footage.
Okay, so 15 beats Jake by 5.
15 was my goal.
You're the current leader. So that's good. You really rolled through there. That was good stuff. Minute Madness is going to be the best segment on podcast radio you guys have ever heard.
This was a long one.
We had a long one today. We're gonna close it out here. Got a few more things. So, like I said at the end of the last one, I don't know if any of you guys listened to the end of the last one, but anytime anyone wants to come on the podcast, you can message Matt or myself, or you can message us on our Instagram account. Link is in the description to follow us on Instagram. So if you want to come on, we'll add you to the list. We already have a pretty long list actually. We've got 7 or 8 guys that want to hop on the pod.
Only guys?
As of now, it's
Come on,
only
Graham.
guys. It's not our fault. No one else has told us that they want to come on. So
Ladies, this is your chance.
yeah, we'd love to have you. So if you want to come on, do that. Like I said, follow us on Instagram. We don't have a Twitter. We don't have a TikTok yet. I will say we may end up making those. As of now, we're not quite big enough to make up for multiple social media accounts. So follow us on Instagram. Links in the description, like I said. Make sure to make sure to like and subscribe. Like this video, subscribe. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. That is the ultimate goal. We are a little over 2% of the way there.
Yes.
And once we reach 1,000, we'll throw a giant party and we will be able to make money off these videos. So that's going to be exciting.
I can get my commission check
You
finally.
get your commission check. Jake can get his McDonald's meal. It's going to be fun. So 1,000 subscribers is the goal. Get us there. Subscribe now. Like I said, links in the description to my social medias, Matt's social medias. Taylor, you can link whatever you want in there, and in our page account. Taylor, is there anything you got to say?
No, it was really fun. Thank you for having me.
Yeah,
I'm welcome to. I'm down to come back if you ever want to discuss anything again.
Matt, anything else?
Nope.
All right, signing off. Matt,
All right.
you gonna actually do it this time?
No. Like, subscribe. Ooga booga.
Deuces.